cannot deny the road to WrestleMania, especially in that main event, has been awesome. And it's all because, really, what The Rock is doing on social media. Every Friday now, he's releasing a decade-long promo of him just standing in one spot, repeating himself multiple times, and saying some of the funniest stuff he's ever said, attacking everything about Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. My friend, this week, past Friday, we had another one, and it led to some really fun stuff on the show. So what happened on Friday with The Rock?
Well, first he cuts one, like as you said, one of his now infamous social media promos. He blasts Cody Rhodes' mother, but my favorite part of his promo was he brought up Cody crying about handing the title to his mother, and he just goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Just the absolute best heel voice. Take a listen to this.
Are you fucking kidding me? You start fucking crying? You start crying? That's how you respond? No wonder all your fans are crybabies. I can't give the belt to Dusty, but I can give it to my mama. I can give it to my mommy. My mommy. Shut the fuck up.
And then later that night on SmackDown, we got the full return of Hollywood Rock. We got the Rock concert. He wasn't playing a guitar. I wish he was doing that, but that whole entire segment was one of the best Rock segments, the Rock segments I've seen in a long time. And I'm so glad, and like I've said for about 20 times now, so thankful that we got that "We Want Cody" movement, and everybody flipped out, and they made that initial mistake because they changed course, and now we got the best version of The Rock we've seen in a long time. Did you catch that promo on Friday night? What did you think of The Rock?
I caught the promo on social media. I caught the Rock concert segment. How could I not? I actually like that he wasn't playing the guitar because those two musicians with him really were able to flow with him and make it actually a fun and catchy tune. I loved all of it,
jazz
including him just going after John Morant. That got some of the biggest boos I've ever heard in an arena.
Man.
It was perfectly done by The Rock. I loved every second. And then what do we have? Because it's wrestling, you have to keep building on this. We have Cody coming out and retorting. This happened on Monday Night Raw. What did Cody do?
Well, Cody, for the first time, he didn't cry. He actually stood there. He did not cry. He did not get emotional. He went right at The Rock, and he said he has little dick syndrome, which is a pretty funny line. But also, he went at The Rock, but there was really no mention of Roman Reigns. And I guess this is what the bigger conversation I want to bridge into here. There was no mention of Roman Reigns other than they're having a face-to-face this Friday night. And then The Rock on the final episode of Raw before WrestleMania is scheduled to be in New York for that episode of Raw. I don't know if Roman Reigns is going to be there, but they're advertising The Rock already. It feels like The Rock is the biggest thing heading into WrestleMania, and not Roman Reigns, and not Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. No longer is it about Cody Rhodes finishing his story. It's about, look how great The Rock is. And that kind of is a problem for the main event, don't you think?
Yeah, because as we know right now, I mean, as we would expect, The Rock is not in the main event of WrestleMania Night 2. Right. It's the final match of WrestleMania will likely be Cody versus Roman in some capacity. And again, as you said, I believe The Rock is overshadowing Roman a little bit here. And it's no fault to The Rock. He's doing his job. He's getting people interested. He's getting the clicks. He's getting the shares. He's getting all that stuff. And Cody is fighting back with it. I did love Cody saying everything he did on Monday Night Raw and saying the word asshole, even though it was bleeped out. You could perfectly see the lip reading of it. It was quite interesting that they bleeped the word out, but keep the camera on Cody during it. Lip readers everywhere knew what he was saying. But the build is really now Rock versus Cody. And again, we're moments away from WrestleMania. There's only so much TV time left. Roman really needs to do something on Friday, and it better not just be the Bloodline standing in the ring, raising their finger, saying, "Acknowledge me." There really needs to be something that happens for Roman to get this push here, to get this shine from The Rock, because the eyeballs are on him, and they're not on Roman. He's maybe the fourth least important person in that tag match at this point.
Oh, wow. I don't know. Seth Rollins is giving him a run for his money and least important, but you're right. It should be Roman Reigns number one and then everybody else because he's the champion. He's the champion. Rollins is the world heavyweight champion. Roman Reigns is the champion. That's the main
champion
belt
for a
everybody.
decade.
Yeah, it feels like it at this point, but yes. No, but what needs to happen on this Friday is Roman Reigns needs to say something to slight The Rock or something to, even though it's just a promo between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, he needs to assert himself as the tribal chief again. I know The Rock acknowledged him as his tribal chief, but that was just a blip on the radar. It feels like years ago now. And also The Rock seemingly can do whatever he wants. He's the on the board of directors. He can swear in promos. He can swear online. Talent backstage are complaining about that, as a report came out this week that they can't swear. How come The Rock can swear? So it seems like The Rock is asserting his dominance everywhere, and Roman Reigns is just cowering in the corner. So he needs to step it up this Friday night. I agree.
I think he needs to do something. He needs to get his name back into the title picture. He's the man with the title. Like it's ridiculous that we're talking about this at this point. But you bring up a good point about other wrestlers so complaining. I don't believe anyone's put a face to this yet, but it's basically complaining through back channels that The Rock is allowed to use profanity and say what he wants on social media and in the ring, when the other wrestlers have rules that are set on them of what they can and cannot do. Now, again, this could be just people making stuff up, or there could be fire to this smoke. How does that make you feel if there are some wrestlers out there complaining about The Rock's special treatment during promos?
Well, I think they have a pretty damn good point, because his promos have been great on social media because his language is so ridiculous, because he's calling Cody Rhodes' dog a piece of shit. That's what makes it great. That's what makes it epic. Nobody else can do that but The Rock. That is a bit of a double standard. But again, he is The Rock. He's also like the most famous person outside of wrestling on the planet. So I don't know how you can tell him to take it easy. You either just go full bore and allow everybody to do it, or just don't have anyone do it. Because if you allow The Rock to do something that nobody else on the roster can, it's just a recipe for disaster and backstage turmoil. And we already seen how that can ruin things in AEW. We don't need that in WWE now.
Thank you for the unnecessary shot at AEW. But I do want to say, you said they have a good point. What I want to say is, if you're complaining about The Rock getting special treatment for being able to swear in promos, like that's what we're holding stuff up over. I have the world's smallest violin to play for you. If you desperately need, then the only thing you need to get over is to say the F word or the S word or the C word in a promo, then you shouldn't be in wrestling. I'm sorry. You need to have more ingenuity to be able to go to the next level and be able to get yourself over, because we're going to talk about him a little bit later, so I don't want to dive into it now, but look at what Drew McIntyre is doing on social media right now. Right. That man is getting himself over, saying words that a nun would be okay with. All right. And then he's doing just a fine job on social media of saying what he wants to say and getting his point across and being a threatening heel and really taking Seth Rollins down 72 pegs without saying a cuss word. So if you're mad that The Rock gets special treatment, gets free reign, you need to be better at your job. That's just my 2 cents on the whole topic. Am I a little overboard for saying that?
No, I actually, I kind of agree with you, but I think if The Rock wants to, not piss off the entire locker room, if he's going to be around all the time, I think he'd want to, have everybody on the same level. But I see your point. You shouldn't be worried about that, because The Rock's going to bring in more money than anybody else on the roster can ever even imagine. So it's kind of ridiculous to be complaining about The Rock, but also in the same breath, it's like, why can't Seth Rollins drop an F-bomb on social media too? He could use it. Seth Rollins could use anything to get more over, but I understand your point. I guess The Rock is a special case of his own, and everyone else should just up their game. I guess I agree with you on that.